dilutes, you know, everything. So, all right, let's go over just real quick for service technicians what to look for on this particular controller. Go over some highlights. This is the free chlorine probe. Has a little bobber right here. So this bobber, you want to keep it in line with this little divot that's machined in the flow cell. To control that, control the flow going through this block, you just close the outlet valve. The more you close it, the higher it's going to go. The more you open it, the lower it's going to drop. So you got to cockeye this valve to get it to where that bobber is sitting right at that line. Next thing is when you're sampling the water, testing it, as far as your pH and your free chlorine, always sample at the block right here. You can just open it up. Water will come out, fill up your test kit, test the water. If you do not test it there, the water quality is going to be all different throughout the pool. Even if you test it in the four corners, average it, it's still not going to be the same as here. For me, test it here, you program it. It's going to be perfect every time. Looking up at the display, you got your sanitizer level, that's your chlorine, your pH, and your temperature. Your bypass flow, this is the bypass system or flow cell, whatever you want to call it. What that reading is at 4 gallons a minute, it's just telling us that there's 4 gallons a minute going through this system here, through the sample. Another thing to look for is on this cursor right here, this line of the screen, it might be flashing. And what that is your Langlier saturation index is out of whack. So you go into operations, go down to saturation, and what you do is you plug in your readings here, and it will give you your Langlier saturation index reading right there. You want your condition to be okay. If you're going to be on the negative side of 0.00, you're going to be etching the plaster. On the positive side, you're going to be scaling the plaster under extreme circumstances. And these are the key things that contribute to it. Is your temperature, your pH, your calcium hardness, and your alkalinity. So you input these and it will display the Langlier saturation index. So we go back to the main screen. As you can see, the temperature is displayed. That temperature is read on this probe right here. The pH is read on this probe right here. Your sanitizer is read on this probe right here. So let's go up into our pH menu. Under your pH, it's in auto right now. If you need to manually feed, you go into manual. Under automatic, that's where we want to keep it normally, automatic feed. We want to go into proportional. This is all based off of the size of the body of water as well as the bather demand. So the dead band is how close it needs to veer off of your set point before it starts to feed. We'll leave it at 1%, hit okay. Progressive zone. So the further away your reading goes from the set point depends how much it's going to feed. So the closer it gets to the set point, it'll turn off the feeder pump, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, and that prevents it from overshooting. So this is the distance. It's 5% from the set point that it's going to do that pulse feeding action. Since this is such a large body of water, we're not really worried about overshooting. We're just going to leave it at 5%. Hit OK. So our calibration is 7.7. New controller. Our set point is 7.5. That's where we're going to keep it in this case. Alarm low. That's when this controller gets hooked up to Wi-Fi. It'll shoot an email out saying, hey, your pH is a 7.0. Allow us to correct it on a preemptive measure. The alarm high is, once again, the high ceiling before it sends out the report. The time limit is the amount of time it needs to run continuously before it goes into an alarm mode. We're not really worried about that too much. We're going to raise it up to 600 minutes. It's a big body of water that gets hammered on the weekends on a hot day. So I'll leave it at 600. Let's go up to the sanitizer menu here. Same thing as before. We leave it in automatic mode. If you want to manually feed chlorine, you turn it to manual. We'll pump chlorine. Go back over, we go into automatic. to switch it back off. You can also put it in timer mode and it will run for 30 minutes and then turn back off and go back into automatic mode. So either manual, automatic, or timer, or off. Go back to proportional, 10%, leave that. On this pool, we're having it at 10% on the zone, okay? So it gets us back to the main menu. We calibrated the controller at 3.5 chlorine. We're gonna leave it as a 3.0 for our set point. 0.3 parts per million is our low alarm. Our high alarm is 10 parts per million. That's the legal limit in our area. Our time limit here is 15 minutes. That is not correct for this size pool. So it's gonna run for 15 minutes continuously before it goes into an alarm state. So we'll raise that up to 600, right arrow. And then our run time, that displays how often it's been running for. So when you're looking at the main screen, when it's feeding, you're gonna have this little arrow next to the feed. What that means is, in solid form like this, it's feeding continuously to lower your set point down to 7.5. When it's flashing, that's when it's in that progressive zone and doing the pulse feeding. So when it's flashing, it's letting you know, hey, we're trying to get it down to 7.5, but we turned off the pump. Make sure we don't overfeed. And then a few moments later, it's gonna go back to a solid arrow, and that's when it's feeding actually. So those are just some of the key points to the Chemtrol 1555. Nice. Yeah, we'll go back, make sure. See, 600.